Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. There's no biological differences between the sexes. Men and women are exactly the same, two blank slates, and the only thing that makes a difference is the socialization of an individual. In other words, gender is a social construct. Boys are just taught to be stronger than girls, say the leftoids. Boys don't actually possess inherently stronger physical values by nature, it's simply taught to them. And girls are socialized to like Barbies and be weak. Now, of course, it sounds completely and utterly ridiculous, and that's because it is, but it's an actual argument that we see from leftoids, and they claim the science is conclusive. Here's an activist who showed up on Stephen Colbert's show a couple months ago, claiming that biological men possess no inherent advantage.
Do trans women have an advantage over cis women? We don't know. However, there's good reason to think that there isn't, but I think it's irrelevant.
Oh, really? Well, it's very interesting that these leftist activists continue to make this claim as evidence to disprove their ridiculous stance continues to pile up. Not only biological males completely BTFOing female competition in female athletic spaces, but more sporting events being hosted between men and women that end in complete and utter humiliation for the female side. It's not surprising and it's not even particularly newsworthy, unless we live in a world where feminists keep telling us that this basic biological reality doesn't exist. A retired men's soccer team, I guess you could even call it a beer league team, took on the US women's football team and beat them 12-0. And this comes after the US women's humiliating defeat from back in 2017, preparing ahead of the World Cup, I believe, by playing against 15-year-olds and getting BTFO'd. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. Let's do the unimaginable in the woke world of 2023 and confirm basic biological truths in reality. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so here's the clip that's bouncing all over the internet, apparently to the shock of all these feminists. They can't believe their eyes. Just take a look. Look how frustrated the goalie is on the US women's team. I don't even get it. You know, I'm hyper competitive, so I understand raw competitive emotion, but in a case like this, I mean, what did you expect? That you guys were gonna come in young, trained in your prime, and destroy these geezers? Or put up a fight? It was never going to happen. I don't understand the delusion. You know, losing 12-0, you probably got let off a little bit easy. I think that's probably what happened here. You know, in almost all of these situations, we generally aren't seeing, you know, the greatest effort from the men. There's this viral clip from a couple years ago. They're not even really trying. The retired men's beer league didn't even need to try, and the end result was 12-0. A constant offensive onslaught, a triggered tilted goalie, smashing the ground in frustration, and a big fat reality check to all the science-denying, biology-denying leftist activists. This is the reality. Oh, but testosterone levels. The science. These men aren't on hormone replacement therapy. Doesn't matter. The difference is so incredibly wide. It's so big. There's such a huge athletic gap between men and women, a 12-0 gap, and probably much wider, that simply going through hormone replacement therapy for 1 year, dropping your hormone levels to what people describe acceptable levels, simply undoes every other biological difference. It's so utterly ridiculous. No, never. This whole thing is ideological. The left is an actual cult, and it was proven on Sam Cedar's show just the other day, with former TYT's Emma Vigeland accidentally admitting the truth.
Matt's citation off cases about the Olympics is pertinent, but an argument for better planning and more transparent discussions. Your argument is really bad on this, and you're out of your depth. You're correct that trans women should be able to compete in women's sports, but your argument for it is just scientifically and factually incorrect. I'm actually not bad about this. I'm 100% right on this. I don't give a shit about the scientific explanations. People, if they identify as a woman, get to compete in sports. If that's not fair in the short term for a variety of little competitions, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Because the societal interest of including trans people in society trumps stupid competition. Full stop. So I'm right about this, you're wrong about this.
They don't care about the science. It's about feelings. It's feelings over facts. You know, at this point, screw it. What are we even fighting for? What is the point? You know, I'm getting to a point where you just kind of gotta let things go, you know, just let history run its course. This is what the left wants. This is their grand crusade. This is equality for them. To remove gender barriers, literally, not just metaphorical, you know, opportunity barriers within the world of politics and the corporate world, but literal barriers, but actual gender barriers separating female and male spaces. And so if that's what you want, then you know what? Screw it. Go for it. How about we remove gender from sports, competition, literally everything? Let's just remove it. It's a social construct. It doesn't really exist. Let's just let men in. Let them in these female spaces. At this point, I don't even care anymore. No matter how much we rant that it's unfair, that women's spaces deserve to be protected, that scholarships and athletic opportunities shouldn't be taken away from young women, no matter how many times we make coherent, sound arguments, it falls flat, it falls on deaf ears. They don't care. It's not about science, it's not about reality, it's about some sort of Looney Tune woke world fantasy. And so let them have it. Watch how quickly that woke fantasy will turn into a complete, utter nightmare. It's probably the best way for people to finally wake up and see what's really going on. Men should not be competing in female sports. Biological reality is not a social construct. It's reality. It's crazy what has become a controversial statement in the woke world of 2023. I never thought saying something like that would be viewed as controversial. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Of course, you know that we'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you on the next one.